Why all the mics switched up, man? I think you got one and I got two over here, man. Peace, this is DJ OHLOW. You're tuned into On Beat with OHLOW, coming to you live from Radio Fairfax, obviously, because me and my man Scene switched mics by accident somehow. But peace, what's going on, Scene?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Welcome
peace,
back,
bro.
man. Welcome into the new fiscal year.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? And we also have Dr. Barbara, Dr. B.
Yes.
Hey, hey.
What's going on?
Not too much.
How was your
Glad to be
fiscal
here.
new year so far?
Good. I've learned some lessons. I actually went to church, and I realized when I left, he taught like a mini version of The Secret.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Law of
so-
attraction.
Yeah, so we really literally did this minister. I would have to call him a master because he does everything. He's, martial arts, but he actually did a ritual where we burned it, and so that's heavy.
You burned what?
What we wanted to destroy.
Which is what? So what'd you burn?
What did I burn? I burned a lot of grudges.
Oh yeah.
I burned a
physically-
lot of people.
I said, did you physically burn anything? With
But
fire?
no, but yeah. They had like, if you write it down, come on, no. You write it down. And so that whole ceremonial type thing of really doing it, but also just teaching you how he's like, listen, the year's going to roll by and it's going to come back up, but really giving you some methods of how to like squash it. And honestly, like I saw the fruition, like that beginning week, I had like 3 interviews. So I was kind of like, but like I say, it's old, but it's new.
But did you physically burn something old of your own? Like, did you take
No, I didn't go that far.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Because some people do that. You know what I'm saying? There's
I didn't
old
know
pagan
that.
rituals, and what they do is like, for instance, they'll take old drawers. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll take like old sock, or they'll take an old, kitchen utensil or something.
Yeah.
And they burn it. They throw it all in this pot and they burn it, and it's supposed to cleanse them of the whatever they had that they were holding on to. You know
I
what
would
I'm saying?
like to try. Well, it was really just interesting to say really quickly because I was like, wow, we're in a church, but I could see that he was mixing in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Things that people need to
It's a
know.
new day.
Yeah,
Numerology,
yeah.
like
I didn't look into
Barbara's
this, man.
into that too, my cousin. She's really
Well, let me ask you this. Did you guys look into this, man? Usin was telling me that on Moorish Harem, there was an article. Shouts out to Usin State of Mind. He's doing the video today as well. But he was telling me there was an article about how the Pope said that there was no hell and that it was a lie.
Yeah.
And he released like a statement. He released some documents. Did you guys read about that?
I saw. I did see it. I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna bring it up later during the break. I'm gonna bring that up so we can talk about that as well.
Pope, man. He's an activist.
He's gonna
Pope.
get
He's
himself
rebel,
killed, right?
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Well, they hold the
Yeah.
secrets, and that's
Yeah.
well. I don't want to get on to religion so much, but I will say this: my nun friends are the coolest people in the world. And
You
should I
keep talking.
going?
I'm actually playing
And
all theory beats, man.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And so meeting them, like when I told them at the time I was heavily into Buddhism, and they were like, oh, you would think from a standpoint of practicing something, but they were like, oh, cool, we know all about that. So I think that led me to believe that unfortunately in some religions, the higher ups will have all this knowledge, but the lay practitioners, because they were so cool, it wasn't a thing that I was this or that. They're like, look at some of our chants. So I would love to see him expose what they have in that little country called the Vatican. Tell the people, like, don't just let them, know you can get from here to heaven. Like, tell them what's in between. Tell them how to change their life. Give them the secrets.
It's all about power, though. That's the reason why they won't do that. It's always been about power, within organized religions. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I feel,
the money.
It is. Whatever, no matter how, it's about controlling people to get something done that you want to get done. And so there's always going to be somebody up top that's going to twist and turn and tweak little knobs and here and there, and do a little change. And it's I appreciate what you said about the guy talking about the truth. I was talking with Brother O a couple weeks ago about at a Rastafarian enlightener. And when I watched that document on the truth, I was like, man, that ain't nothing but words, sound, power. That's an old Rasta proverb which cats would say is like, man, you speak it. Word, sound, power goes to like, you speak it. You speak the truth and you claim it, basically. And I heard my grandmother used to say that. It's the same thing, but it's all these truths that are all in Buddhism, you know, it's a parallel that's all through all these spiritual gains, you know, spiritual ways that that bring good things to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just when people get caught up in the dogma of religions, you know, things become perverted, twisted, and, you know, things like that, when you lose focus of what's going to make you better and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, I appreciate that. Like I said, it kind of led me away from one single religion. Me and my growth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I went through a bunch of different, you know, avenues trying to find the truth. You know, well, there's got to be one right way. When I just realized, man, there's too many different folks, too many different strokes.
Powerful stuff,
yeah,
though, right?
Yeah, it's all powerful, and I'm with it. Like, if it's gonna make you a better person, just roll with it. I'm with you. But when it comes down to you sitting there condemning someone that's different from you,
right.
You know, that's where I have to part ways with that. You know, no matter what the situation is, really. You know.
Yeah.
But
I'm
other than
glad
that,
you brought up Rastafari, man, because I'm gonna talk about Rastafarianism. I'm gonna talk about the connections that it has to the Israelites. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To Judaism, and I want to talk about Zionism. I didn't get to say this, but today we want to talk about Zionism. We want to talk about what it is to just keep in line with what we've been talking about, and who runs hip hop, and how Zionism falls into running hip hop in a way as well. And just want to know, you know, about the Zionists and the movement. And I have some facts. I know you got some facts. Doctor got some facts. But we'll be right back. This is On Beat with OHLOW. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Peace.
Keeping the First Amendment alive. We are WEBR, Fairfax County's cable access and internet radio station.
Peace. This is DJ OHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. We just had DGEG step into the building. Peace. What's going on, fam? What's going on? Get on that mic, man. Oh man, you gotta get on that mic. We can't even hear you.
Peace. How y'all doing? Square Circle Battle League in the building.
What's going on, man? Oh, Square Circle, my fault, man. So you ain't going by DGEG today, huh?
Yeah. This is a different organization.
Yeah, my bad, my fault, man.
Different organization.
It's still all family though, right?
Yeah. We're one.
Stay up on that mic, man.
Yeah, we're one big unit, man. Different titles, man. Short Two Shizzles in the building.
That's what's up. Go ahead, just get on that mic, man. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's Two Shizzle, you know.
Peace.
You know how we doing. Glad to be here, you know.
That's what's up. Welcome to the show, man.
Yes, sir.
And to your left.
It's Cadillac Red.
Peace. What's going on, fam?
Square Circle Battle League.
That's what's up. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, we're talking about Zionism and the influence it has over the world, man, and the influence it has over hip hop. The past few weeks, we've been talking about who runs hip hop and who the keepers of hip hop are, who preserves hip hop, and who destroyed hip hop and who's destroying hip hop today. So, you know, you were talking about Rastafaris, man, and I know that Rastafarians believe that. Well, I don't know, but this is, you know, this is what I've come to believe, is that they believe that Haile Selassie was the Lion of Judah.
Trinity, yeah, he was direct lineage of King David and the Queen of Sheba.
So break it down, man.
Yeah, his Haile Selassie was.
Break it down from the beginning, from the lost tribes, man.
Oh man, we need like a whole show, definitely a whole show just for that.
Just do like the quick rundown.
In a nutshell, man, what it comes down to is King David linked up with Sheba. One of their sons was Menelik, and Haile Selassie is direct lineage of Menelik, and that's how, when he was coronated back in the 20s, I think it was, when he was coronated, he was named Conquering Lion of Judah. And, you know, I hear a lot of the Western world, they always want to criticize and say, he wasn't no God, he wasn't this and everything.
Well, he said that himself, that he wasn't no God.
He said it himself, definitely.
Yes.
You know, he said, but with that title and the way that the Western world, the way that they try to disregard him and disregard his importance, they try, he was just, you know, whatever. That's some backwards country, Ethiopia, whatever. But if that was the case, there was a representative of every nation in the world at his coronation. Every nation in the world at that time was there at his coronation. You don't do that for no tribesman.
Yeah.
That doesn't hold any weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's a bit of his history, and that's the reason why he was during the time in Jamaica, with Marcus Garvey. You know, he gave the prophecy. You're going to see a black king crown. Boom. A year later, Haile Selassie was crowned. They saw the importance of it. They said, wait a minute, he's the conquering Lion of Judah. This all goes into our Christian beliefs that were before that. You know, because Garvey was he was a Christian. You know,
and
what
it
I'm
found
saying?
to another prophecy too, because he came out of I think he came out. His army was like based in the jungle or something, right in the desert.
Oh, in the desert.
In the desert.
Like, no, another bit of importance with that historically was that Ethiopia is the only country that was not colonized in Africa.
Yeah.
The whole continent.
Yeah.
The only country.
And
believe me,
Italians.
yeah, they tried to.
Yeah.
Don't believe me. The Germans tried to get in there.
Yeah.
Italians tried to.
Italians,
And he
yeah.
said that was when he stopped. You know, the Italians, and that's where he was coming to man. And he was, one of the Mayan Lightner showed me this picture, frame picture that he holds so important was he had Haile Selassie standing on an unexploded ordnance bomb.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the desert with dead Italians all underneath him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy.
Boom, it's a real picture. You know, and it was like he stopped. Nobody else in Africa. There was other kings, other governments and everything. No one could stop the colonial powers. And they try to. From that point on, Ethiopia is they've been shunned. They've been shunned. They didn't. What do you call it?
Feminized.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, they the sanctions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Why they went through the Shroud and they couldn't help because he defied. He started the African Union. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that started that. You know, he did a lot of good things that was not privy to Western world, Western eyes, and Western ears.
I mean, the mainstream is never going to give anybody.
Never going to give props like that. Yeah. And but I mean, he got taken over. It was a coup and all this other stuff. But I mean, going back to Rastafarianism, Jamaicans saw that, and that was just like that was a beacon right there. And listening to his speeches, it kind of gave them a template of this universal love, peace thing that he was talking about. Because Haile Selassie was a man; he was a small man, frail man.
Yeah,
he wasn't walking around.
Guy.
Yeah, a little small, short dude, right? 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so he was basically saying that what he told the Rastafarian Council when he came to Jamaica, he was like, I appreciate it, I'm flattered, I'm honored, but he's like, take this lesson from me as how to act godly. Not a god, but act godly, which in my readings, my understanding, I don't know how other Rastas or whatever feel, because there's a different Rasta for every, like there are Catholics or Christians, Presbyterians, all that. There's different vibes of that. There's different sects of Rastafarianism which take different parts what they feel, but it's just a matter of, I think it was kind of a root of even 5% Nation of teaching that you a God. That you the God, the power of God is within you. It's how you walk this earth and how you you know what I'm saying, and that goes back into what I was saying earlier about word, sound, power. You know what I'm saying? You speak it, claim it, move it, and watch, and that's the power right there. Because all things are coming. All things will come to with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit, in a nutshell.
Well, some of the and so some of the things I wanted to get into as well is they believe in the that when the Israelites, well, this goes back to biblical times, and when the Israelites left the Exodus, that a lot of Africans left with them, and they went to Babylon. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, because when I was a kid, I used to hear a lot of this stuff too, but I didn't really know what it really meant. I didn't know how it all went together. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really get the whole
12 tribes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because you're young and you don't really know, man. It's good music. It's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But then over the years, I got it. And so it's the same thing with the Rastafaris. It's the same belief as the Jews, as Judaism.
Yeah, it is. And it is.
It's
and
the exact same.
And I guess back to history of Zionism.
Yeah.
Because this predates Zionism, the actual movement of Zionism. But, Judaism was a religion. It wasn't the culture. It wasn't the people. It wasn't, there weren't a race of Jews.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a religion. The power, the size that Christianity is now, how you have Christians of all faiths, colors, people, creeds, and everything. That's how Judaism was while Christianity was coming up. So you had African Jews, you had Middle Eastern Jews, you have Persian Jews, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just European Jews, but you had European Jews. It wasn't just, everybody gets focused on that. Zionism came out of
nationalism.
Nationalism.
It's a form of nationalism. That's what it is.
Crazy form of nationalism.
So it's not a religion.
Zionism is not at all.
No, yeah.
And the thing with Zionism was what,
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Y'all want to get into this conversation?
Can we
Doctor.
pay homage to Amiri Baraka since we're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
word
just passed
sound?
away.
Because when
Yeah,
you
true.
said that,
Yeah.
I was like, that was his whole thing, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's all.
That's what's
Definitely
up,
a
man.
soldier.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And another person who just passed away too is Ariel Sharon. I don't know if you guys know who Ariel Sharon is, man. And it was crazy that because I thought he was dead like a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. I mean, that's what I thought, man. But I just, that goes back to the whole thing, the Zionism, because he was one of the important people to help this whole thing come together, to help Israel become a state.
Yeah.
And like you said, see, there's a lot of misconceptions about Zionism because a lot of people think it's a religion, but it's not actually. Zionism was founded. It was based on a book that Theodore Herzl.
Herzl.
I know you
gotta.
gotta. I know you gotta go to break, but I was just reading the obituary in the New York Times for Amiri Baraka, and that's what landed him into his last bit of trouble was the poem he wrote after 9/11, and he mentioned Sharon. You know, where he was questioning like why were 4,000 Israelis not at the towers? You know, and where was Sharon? So I just think that's. You know what I mean? Kind of interesting.
I gotta check that out.
Just Google the obit. It's pretty inclusive, but that's the thing, and so that actually got him. They tried to kick him off of being the poet laureate of New Jersey. But he mentioned Sharon. You know, kind of tying in.
I mean, it all ties, and everybody knows what's up, man.
Anti-Semitic
Yeah.
in quotes, but he asked those questions.
Well, see, no, and that's the thing is like I want to know who's saying that because, based on my research of Zionism, it's not. It really has nothing to do with Judaism. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I don't get. And then a lot of people say if you're anti-Zionist, you're anti-Semitic, but that's just not true. And it's crazy because the research that I did, like, I'm not gonna front, man. Like the way they did it was smart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they did it right, man. You know, and I can't be mad at that because they did it right. Because me and U talk about this all the time. Is how you have to secure your commerce, and that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? And then they took over the land. I don't really respect the way they took over the land. And a lot of people that talk about the Zionistic movement back to Israel, they talk about how they were trying to set up their villages, but they never talk about how they destroyed villages of the Palestinians. And they don't even really talk about how it's just crazy, man. Because a lot of Jews that I talk to, they speak Arabic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Same culture over there.
Yeah, man. And so I'm like, and they're Palestinian Jews that speak Arabic, and they're like, it's just crazy, it's just wild, it's just like it's out of control. It just goes back to power, control, money,
media.
Exactly, man. Because
those on top want to stay on top.
Yeah,
they
and there's
want
there's so many Israeli terrorists. Like some of the Orthodox Jewish people that go over there, they are hardcore. Like
man, but that's what Zionism was. They created terrorism.
But I know, but we don't get to hear, like, when you watch about Israel, well, it is what it is because it's apartheid.
It definitely
so,
is.
We don't get to hear, and then who was there at, who just passed? Why can't I think of his name?
Well, in Palestine, there's a hip-hop group.
South Africa. No one was there from... Yeah, no one was there from... No one was there from Israel at his funeral.
Because he
no one.
He was one of the main detractors from that.
Anyway...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
no one was there, and that's crazy. Everyone was there, but they were not there.
Yeah, going into
what, home before you get into it, I gotta take a quick break. Let me take a quick break, and we'll be right back. This is on Beat with OHLOW. We'll be right back. Peace.
WEBR FM Fairfax.
A service of Fairfax Public Access and Cox Communication.
And webcasted to the world in real audio at fcac.org. WEBR FM Fairfax.
Peace. This is DJ OHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. That's WEBR Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. Today we're talking about Zionism and how it falls into the owners of hip hop, and it's there's a lot of misconceptions again about Zionism. A lot of people think it's a religion. A lot of people think that it's just like a secret cult, or some, what I'm saying, secret society or whatever. But it's not, man. You can look it up on it. There's a Wikipedia about Zionism, about Zionists. I mean, that's where I found most of the information. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy. But it was just a movement that was started to start a state the state of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it was for Jewish people. But it's crazy because in Judaism, and again, this is based on research that I did. In Judaism, it says that you have no ownership.
Exactly.
Yeah, like there's no there's no lines. You can't create lines. So it doesn't make sense. It's like an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wrong, man. It goes against the religion.
It totally
but
is.
it's in the name of the religion.
You know, one of the Zionist architect books that they have is the Talmud. And that's Jesus Christ spoke against the Talmud because he was like, yo, that's of the people. That's not of God. That's manly desires and stuff, that what they write, what they put it in, you know, to what they took that. That's the history of Zionism right there. It's like when the Talmud, they were talking about everything, giving laws and rules to like rape,
Right.
genocide, and talking about it freely in these books that, you know, how Jews, not Jews, but how, Jews, how they're supposed to act against Gentiles. And the Gentiles, anybody that's not a Jew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it still carries over to this day in Zionism, where they really think that they're morally, spiritually higher than everybody else. Gentiles are there to serve them.
Yeah.
So in the bigger picture of things, when you look at it, they've completed their plan, because what do Americans do? What do Western Europeans do? They support Israel blindly.
Well, they
support them blindly. You know what I'm saying?
They get more finances than any
other
country.
Group, and they represent
Any
like 2%.
country.
They represent 2% of the population here, but they get billions upon billions of billions of dollars that goes to iPad.
There's two things that I like what you said, man. You said blindly. Belief is blind submission. Right? So it's based on belief. And then you said, you know, they get funded, and everybody
Most funding of anybody.
Yeah, so, you know, all right, so my man Omega was like, I don't want to get into the conversation until we get into the hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring it around. I'm trying to bring it around.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I know.
Right.
I'm breaking down. Yeah, so you know, it goes. So what I wanted to know is who funded this occupation of Palestine to become the state of Israel. Where'd the money come from?
Well,
and go ahead.
Well, I know that I've done every job known to man, and I have been a stockbroker. So that way, I worked with Jewish people and Italians. It's the only woman, the only black, and I really saw, and I managed a lot of funds that, you know, and so they are heavily, I think right now, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for Israel, their main finance is weapons. They're an arms dealer. So, I mean, and what the question I was going to ask is like, well, why is it so important for this group of people to control this area? But then when you look at
it's considered the most
business,
hostile territory in the world,
but
the most hostile property in history. Exactly.
But when you look at the business of war, like for instance, we look at the Congo, we have countries like France who fund both sides. So I just, you know, and then we look at there's a very strong connection between South Africans and South Africa. Again, their main economy is weapons. So there's that connection between South Africa and Israel.
Right? It's like a commercial genocide where you, like you said, like they fund both sides.
So why is it so important, though, I guess, for them to have this? Why are they fighting so hard to get this piece of the pie, not just politically, but I mean, when I read about it,
because it's smack dab in the middle of all these Arabic countries, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So it's like a port. But
that area right there is it's
important to all three of the great religions.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the reason why
holy.
They want to hold the power of the spiritual.
Yeah.
That's why they keep it
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it goes back to belief.
Yep.
Whoever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to get into it like that because I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just have asked the question.
But I mean, I would think, you know, it's like if you hold the flag, you know what I'm saying? You're the leader. Everybody bows down to you. You know what I mean? And like you said, like they have the best military. I found out that if you're a citizen of Israel, you have to serve in the military. Is that true?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is, right?
London too, but yeah.
It is.
Oh, in London too?
Yeah, 2 years.
Oh,
and they got Krav Maga too.
They do a lot of that throughout the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know it's in Turkey too that you have to serve to get your citizenship, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To be a part, like you got to serve. You got to be a part of the police or the army for 2 years, and then you can get free health care.
Well, it was just interesting to me.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But I mean, trying to tie it back into who's funding it in hip hop and everything. There's this organization called AIPAC, AIPAC.
Yeah, break
it's
it down, man.
American Israel Political Action Committee. It's one of the first, packs, what they call committees or whatever. But it's been around since inception of politics. All right. So what they do is everybody that is, there's a big influx of in Hollywood, everybody that's a Jew. And if they're a Zionist,
Hollywood.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They have dual responsibilities to the country and then to Israel, to the funding of Israel.
Citizenship.
So all these millionaires that are in Hollywood, music industry, everything, they got to spend half their check and send it to this IPAC, which funds war, and the IPAC is not Republican or Democrat because they fund both parties.
See,
That's
the
how
funny
they
thing is,
fund both parties.
we're all worried about Mexicans coming and stealing our jobs
Yeah.
and sending money back to Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just a couple $100 here and there every few weeks, right?
Sending
Right.
millions.
But they don't, exactly. They don't talk about the millions and billions.
Billions. They get
that
$4
go.
billion every year.
And see, the thing is like, and I'm trying to take this back to hip hop
Yeah.
funding.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's clear that they own entertainment. Period. You can go from Hollywood. You can go from Hollywood to music. Period. That you can focus on hip hop music. I mean, look at the big names involved with hip hop from the beginning.
Yeah.
A lot of them have, Jewish surnames. I mean, you look at Leo Cohen. You've got who was behind Eazy-E and NWA. I believe he was Jewish as well.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, it's something that. And it was okay for a minute with the talent because we still control the talent portion of it. Now we don't control the talent portion of it. The business is taking over the talent portion of it.
It's the levels,
Yeah.
The
The
levels
business
to
is
it.
taking over the talent portion of it. You could still hear like a Black Star in a Mos Def if you looked hard enough. Now you can't. You can look hard enough and still not find them. And when you do find them, you're really digging through the roots because you can't. They don't allow that intelligence, man. They don't allow intelligence, man. And
On that note, man, my fault.
Yeah.
I'm glad I sparked that under you,
Yeah.
man. But I got to take a quick break. This is going to be a little long break for PSAs, and then we'll be right back. This is On Beat with OHLOW, talking about Zionism. Peace. Peace. This is DJ OHLOW. I'm playing all Theory beats, man. Shouts out to Theory. I don't know why he didn't come through, man. He was supposed to come through and be a part of this conversation. I know he's got some good things to say too. But before the break, we were talking to my man Omega, and we're actually talking about Zionism and the differences between Zionism and Judaism, and some of the fallacies and some of the facts behind the people, the Zionists that run the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Back to my man Omega. You know what? Hey, tell us about Square Circle, actually, man.
All right. Square Circle Battle League is brought to you by my brother Cadillac Red, my brother Too Short. We have two other owners who are not here, Abdul Cruz Jones and Concept Nepotism. That's Jackson. We run. You can consider it like an element of hip hop. People don't really define, but like a battle league, a rap battle league. Where we set up events where battlers face off each other.
And you're based right here in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, we're based in Northern Virginia,
Yeah.
matter of fact, and all the owners battle too. So we
That's what's up.
we rap and we run the business structure, everything too, man. So
But you throw parties too. It's not just battles.
Yeah. It's
throw
not just
shows, you
battles.
throw parties.
Yeah, we got there's Rain City that's affiliated with that.
Yeah.
There's Train Gang Music Group, and the DGEG affiliation, man. I mean, we do a lot to try to present that whole industry feeling about like an appreciation for hip hop out here, man. And so Square Circle Battle League, man. If you guys want, check us out at Square Circle Battles on YouTube.
What about the Twitter? You got a Twitter for Square Circle?
No, we actually don't. We don't have a Twitter. We keep our focus though. A lot of our focus though is actually homegrown.
Okay.
A lot of our focus is homegrown. We're starting to build up a lot of online traffic now because we've done battles out of state, right? We've done battles out of state, and we got a couple things going on, man. And so it's like we try to just work through word of mouth and just talk to everybody on Facebook.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Stay on that mic though.
Yeah. So everything is good, man. We have an event coming up, Red. 31st. Okay. Yeah, January 31st. We have another event coming up.
Word.
Again, man, it's a hip hop thing.
One more time. If people wanted to find the information about the event,
right,
they could find it on the YouTube as well.
Yeah, they could find that out on the YouTube, or they could go to Facebook if they wanted to. Look it on our Facebook page. We have a Square Circle Battle.
Oh, okay, on Facebook too. That's what's up. So it's like Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook and
backslash
YouTube.
Square Circle.
Yeah, because we like to build up commentary. Like who did you think won?
What about Instagram? I know you got an Instagram.
I got an Instagram, Jay.
Oh, okay, but it's
Ray
not.
City got individual Instagrams.
That's what's
Square
up.
Circle, but you can check us out on Instagram through #SCBL if you wanted to. Like, we do have a hashtag. We have a #SCBL hashtag.
That's what's up, man. And Dr. B.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I know you got your doctorate here on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Not through the Ivy League institution where I was at, so I want to always thank you for that. Just a real battle. Just being young and like really not knowing how to play any games, and then going over to the motherland and like, no, that's not what's over there, and really not knowing the enterprise of all that and everything. As far as an artist, I'm an anthropologist too, done a lot of things, but that's my heart and soul. A big part of my heart and soul. Storytelling, actor, writer, burgeoning producer. I have my piece Weirdos, as well as some other pieces that I've written. I'm working right now with a good actor, writer, director friend, Sherette Gregg, and we've added also Derek Anthony. I don't have all his information, but I'll make sure to get that, who's done a lot of filmmaking. So the piece combines, we're redoing it, but it combines multimedia, film. I happen to feel like right now theater audiences see so much cinema, so they're ready for that, and we're really embracing as a theme mental illness. And the piece is also coming into contact with a lot of issues that are important right now, as far as like NSA monitoring. So you have a woman who's schizophrenic, hearing voices, being watched, but is she?
Yes.
With the FBI and it's exciting.
There was actually NSA released. I don't know if it was NSA. It was NSA. Yeah, they released. Yeah, they released a document recently that said that for the past 20 years they have been keeping track on millions upon millions of people. You know what I'm saying? And that they justify it through the Patriot Act. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it became legal.
I gotta remind folks of the many jobs that I've done. I have worked in a lot of those places. Interestingly, because I could never talk about what I did, I don't really remember. But I used to go to a lot.
You don't remember?
Well, I can never talk about it. It was the weirdest thing. But
I
can say where I worked.
Though, man.
But I can say where I worked. I worked at. Where'd you get
your food from? Did you go to the cafeteria?
No, but let me tell you. Wait. I worked at the CIA. I've been at the Pentagon, NSA, NRO. I can say this. That's that building that Clinton was like, you guys, you got to give it at least the name because this is billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But literally in that building, I think somebody was looking for me. And I was missing, and I came back to the office. At this point, let me just preface that and say I work 4 floors underground. So that's when I found out that the underground is the top. I work with a lot of high-level people. I couldn't stand some of the live stuff I was seeing. But anyway, so I get back, and he's like, that's okay. They found you. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, are you kidding me? If you carry that badge, he's like, let me tell you where you were. I think you were at the gym, at this floor, in this bathroom, in this place. So it's kind of like...
Whoa. Yeah,
but let me just remind folks, after 9/11, Bush made everybody a promise. He said, and he's already kept it, this will be the longest war known to mankind.
He didn't have to make that promise. It was, there's prophecies before that, man. Bush,
Yeah.
he's the puppet that put it out, yeah.
Yeah, it's the enterprise, so.
I think since 9/11, you got to start packing a lunch and packing a gat. You know what I'm saying? That's what
I'm from Kansas, so I don't really get even why we discuss it. Like, it's interesting for me to listen to people. I'm like, listen, basically, if you go to, honestly, I don't want to get off into that, but I don't understand what is the issue of bearing arms anyway.
What's the issue?
We bury them in Kansas, like we bury them, we conceal them. Like, what are you? Why even talk about it? Carry an arm.
States are all different, man. It
that's
goes back
problem.
to why wouldn't
that's the problem.
Virginia is going to be the very last state if they ever legalize marijuana? Why? You know what I'm saying? It goes back to that same thing. It's like the states are all different. It's what people want. In Virginia, you could carry your arm just like it's.
Well,
they encourage you to carry your arm.
Let me just tell you, like coming up from Kansas, like I said, we don't really get it. But I live in D.C., And arms is just a natural part of how I grew up. But I certainly don't want to be not carrying arms when I live next to a state like Virginia. I've worked with some of these guys, like they got rocket launchers. So I get the fact that all states are different, but you don't want to be caught in that freaky liberal state when you're next to Wyoming.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what's crazy about
it's
it.
like,
that's what I mean, man. It's,
anyway, I got sidetracked. But so if you would like to,
but see, that's all like you say,
it's part of
carrying
the
arms.
show.
Yeah, it goes. It's all
if,
intertwined, man. You know what I'm saying? It goes back. Where did you buy them guns from? Where did they come from? They come from Israel.
Well, but listen, the biggest arms dealer, the biggest illegal arms dealer is actually the state of Georgia. Georgia's arming everybody.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest illegal, I don't know if this is a fact, but I think one of the biggest illegal gun manufacturers in the world right now is in the mountains between Afghanistan and Pakistan. I saw this documentary about how these people that live in the mountains, they don't do much. There's not much to do there, but they collect a lot of the guns from the war, from the Afghan-Russian war and from the civil wars, and then they melt them down. They melt down a lot of metals, and they make their own guns, and then they sell them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a huge black market, but you have like, I saw it in the documentary, there's a guy with no tongue. You know what I'm saying? And he's all messed up, but he's making a gun by hand, and he's making like a custom gun for this guy.
Is this on Netflix? Can you say what it is?
No, I saw it on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's.
That's all I have is Netflix.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, but it's basically in the Hindu Kush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are some of the highest mountains in the world. But yeah, I mean, it's a crazy world, man. Because growing up, it's like you don't even really think about how nasty this world really is. You know what I'm saying? And now that there's, I think about all these babies in the world, I'm like, yo, as much as I try to make a better place, and as much as we all try to build a community, square circle, you know what I'm saying, beat conductors, everyone else in this area and everywhere else throughout hip-hop, like the hip-hop has a real strong, solid community. People who are trying to build communities, it's being torn down. And some of the people who tear it down, in my opinion, are some of these Zionists, you know what I'm saying, because they don't want to see other people prosper, it takes away from them. And I realized that because some people, Nas talks about it, you know what I'm saying? Damian Marley talks about it. I believe KRS-One talked about it a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, music is like an urban business.
Yeah.
I mean, music is an urban business, and the moment music stopped becoming like an urban business and being a business that, minority youth could use to benefit from, the fight against this system, you got to think about it. It turned men like Jay-Z into millionaires. Like, as soon as that happens, you have to check them. When we're okay, when we're contained in music, is cool. But when you venture into real estate and sports, it's a different attitude.
Well, let's talk about his last album,
man.
You're
supposed to stay with music.
Everybody heard his last album, right?
Yeah. I heard his last album.
Yeah,
I heard his last album.
So just think about the differences in that album. A lot of people say that album was actually made for millionaires. It wasn't made for us regular people. You know what I'm saying?
But he's a millionaire now. I can't expect him to talk about the evil.
But is that hip hop though?
No, it's not. Well, I mean, I think the form of expression. I think the expression, the spoken word, is still hip hop, but the message is not necessarily hip hop. You know what I mean? Because hip hop is a poor man's music. You know what I mean? It's a trodden man's music. So I think the spoken word format is still hip hop. Respecting for his alliteration and wordplay and stuff like that. But the message is not necessarily like a hip hop community one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah,
but in my opinion, he is a millionaire now. Yeah. So he is the evils.
But is he exempt from a standard because he's a millionaire?
No, I mean, he's not exempt from a standard, but I would say that he's evolved into a businessman, and the people he's keeping company with are the Zionists. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the people he's keeping company with are the men that are controlling this format, and more than likely, he developed an adapt and survive mentality. Like, this is a machine that maybe possibly I cannot fight. This is not the projects of Marcy.
But he's doing more than surviving. He's a millionaire. He's not surviving. He's getting rich.
That's true, but he had to survive. That element is different now. He says it himself. It's different now. He said, He's like, I'm dealing with these rich Jews now that don't show me show me the love that I expect from my old hip hop fans. He says it. So he's like, I'm adapted. I'm not, condoning it. I'm just saying, he speaks about it because he's seen in that image is men like, Nasir, KRS-One who are still very, very successful. And they stride a path that stays towards hip hop. You know what I mean? And it's
possible.
Just right. They just
but they don't have that Jay-Z bread though.
Because that's
it's about what you want though.
Yeah,
it's about what you
but it's not even new
but you
though.
guys,
It's
can
not
I
even
just
new.
introduce?
because that goes back into the Zionism. But what I'm saying is what Jay-Z is doing is that's the new business model for him for hip hop.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
hey, play this game right. And it's not even new, like you said, because it's been cats been doing that
since day
I
one.
gonna say selling out since day one.
Since day one.
That's that house ninja attitude where it's like, I ain't gonna mess up.
He's
my
been
money,
here enough,
you know,
yo. He knows.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mess up my situation for y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know I came from y'all, but I'm not gonna mess up my situation for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play this right, do all the right things. And
But is he wrong for doing that, man?
I mean,
because
we
a lot
can't.
of
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
No,
we can't knock him.
We can't really
I
blame
can't
Jay-Z
knock him.
because it's been a situation where like a lot of wealthy African Americans follow that mentality.
Oh yeah.
You know
That's
what I
what I'm
mean?
saying.
It's
But
not
he's
just limited to
wealthy.
musicians.
On
now.
the other side, though, and my thing is this though. The difference that I say this is that one of my heroes, which it blows my mind, but until I read about him, was Harry Belafonte. He caught so much flack back in the 50s, 50s up until that, but he was so in.
He was a G, man.
No, yeah, he was so
ingrained.
intertwined
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the
The
civil
community.
rights movement.
Right.
And everything.
He made a
Like he
choice,
really
though.
went back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He really went back and was like, "Yo, I'm fighting." So, when that happened though, he got blackballed.
Right.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
couldn't get nothing.
Right.
He's still right now, like he's still out there.
Poor guy. He's getting old too.
But he
Yeah,
made that
no, but-
choice though.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but that's for me. That's what you respect, because if you're from that, you always say like, don't forget where you came from, homie.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's someone that you can really put up and say, okay, granted, you've lived that fine life and everything, but God, it's getting taken back from. But you'll always have the respect of the people, which I think it should be more of that. You know what I'm saying? Like more. That's our fault on the community, in our community. It's not recognizing that.
Well,
Recognizing those
hold on.
contributions
Interesting
that he did.
fact, though. I'm glad you brought that up because we're talking about Jay-Z too. Does anybody know how much? Because this is, again, it's the fiscal new year and everything. Does anybody know how much he donated to charities?
It was like $12, wasn't it?
It wasn't that low, man. That's we probably
20,
looking at my
30.
I was
taxes.
just saying,
man.
I thought he put in like $40 or something. Oh.
Yeah, it was something like, I think combined, I believe combined him and Beyonce was like $44,000 or something like that. But then he makes, I believe it was like, I forgot the numbers, man, but it was something. It was like millions and millions of dollars a year. You know what I'm saying? It was like 20-something $million a year or something like that.
Can I just introduce? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I mean, my whole thing about I asked my cousin from New York, I'm like, what is all this? And he's like, well, it's bravado. This whole enterprise, even of selling yourself based on not your talent, but I'm rich. Because that's what he's selling.
Right.
But my thing is like, number one, I don't want to get all technical, but the dollar ain't worth that much.
Right.
I believe the real people that are getting wealthy right now in the industry are the people you don't see in Asia.
Right.
That are making the money.
Right.
And also, too, we don't really know how much money he's worth. There's just this whole enterprise. But also, too, just on a last point, I think sometimes we get short-sighted, and I always introduce a person I love, which is Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes, and how they were no one. So, I mean, as artists, I feel that we make choices like, I don't want to sound cliche, but there's so many people that are somebody at the time, but they're really through the longevity. It's like, sometimes it's hard to face the fact that we may have the courage to tell a story and it could be like 12 Years a Slave because that's 1841. That guy told that story so long ago and now it's going to get an Oscar. So I think we just have to, it's hard when we're sold on, I got to be wealthy, I got to be this, I got to be that. But if we're really artists, like, where's the balance with all that?
I mean, it's just the nature of the society we're in now. It's really based on consumerism. And they take and model. The reason why they could sell these cookie cutter rappers is because they model the habits of the listener based on its consumerism. And the thought process is so social media based. It's instantaneous. Like the attention is instantaneous and also detachment is instantaneous. Like they're involved as quickly as
And the
they're
gratification
disinvolved.
too.
Yeah, the gratification is short lived. So for them to sell, the reason why they can sell this is because they condition the consumer to not want the substance, even in our food, they've conditioned people to not want substance. You know what I mean? So we're like a microwave society now, and it's not that I don't understand what musicians are doing. I just don't blame them because of society around them. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be intelligent enough to figure out how to live from that point on, but if you're conditioned to believe that this is your one way out of a situation, you know, you don't have the knowledge.
That's the easiest way. It's the easiest route. And you know what you said, how societies can it's a consumerism thing. I mean, just think back 20 years ago, people had credit cards. That was the status symbol, right? That was a status symbol. You use credit cards for big things, trips, things like. I'm just thinking back to my folks, right? But you got cats now that's using their credit card to buy McDonald's, to buy milk and eggs, basic necessities, on credit.
No,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's what that, you know, that kind of shows you the sign of the times that we're in right now. Is that, the dollar's not worth, the cash ain't worth nothing because I can't even afford to use this to get milk and eggs right now for my babies. I got to break out the plastic and hopefully I can pay it next when I get my next check.
Well, that idea of credit is also like a
I got to take a quick break, man. My fault. I got to take a quick break. Just hold on to your thoughts. I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back. On Beat with OHLOW. We'll be right back. We'll have like 10 more minutes and we're going to wrap up this show. Sure. Be right back. Peace.
Fighting Radio Pablum in the No Guts Washington radio market. We're WEBR, Fairfax's cable access radio station.
Peace. This is DJ OHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. We're talking about Zionism and how it links to hip hop, man. My man Scene, I know you got to leave, man. You're going to a show tonight, man. But I just wanted to say thank you for coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? Always appreciate the insight. I wanted to pick at your brain a little bit more, man. You never told me the story about the cellular phone thing, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to have you back, man.
I will do.
And if people wanted to check you out one more time, man, if they wanted to find your art, I know it's sceneart.com.
Yeah. Sceneartstudios.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sceneart Studios is my that official website. But also you can look me up if you want on like Facebook, Twitter. It's all sceneart1. Instagram, sceneart1. And like I said,
sceneart1, number one.
Yeah, the number one. Right. Yeah. I said I'm on this mission to bring back good, crazy artwork to album covers. That's my mission for 2014.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
So, and it's starting out good. You know, I've got like 4 or 5 covers I'm doing right now. So.
And actually, I think at this point in time, if people wanted to see some of your artwork from the Beat Conductors battle, that should be up online too. So people can find some of your artwork at the Beat Conductors website as well, man. So that's what's up,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And I know you did some artwork for Theory. Actually, I'm playing all Theory beats today.
Sir. Yes, sir. That was a blessing right there.
Yeah, the stuff. Yeah. Some of these joints,
right
I think some of these joints are from this stuff.
This one right here is. Yeah.
It is, right?
Yep,
That's what I'm saying. See, so you already know. But again, man, I appreciate you coming out, man. Thanks, man. We'll get up.
Definitely.
And peace to the family, and have a good time, man.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all be easy, man.
Yeah, we'll talk to y'all, man. But we're talking about Zionism, man. If somebody wants to swing over here and take that mic, man, feel free. Everybody can slide down. The past few weeks, we've been talking about hip hop and who runs hip hop and who are the preservers of hip hop and who are the destroyers of hip hop, and a lot of names come up, man. We were just talking about Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? And
I'm a big fan of his, though. I'm a real big fan of Jay-Z.
Yeah, and a lot of people are. That's what I'm saying. And see, some people say that he's one of the preservers, others say that he's the destroyers, and it's all based on opinion, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is community, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? It's based on community. And Jay-Z, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, he left the community, man. You know what I'm saying? He's part of a different community now.
Right.
But what I remember, we were also talking and asking, was he really ever with the community? You know what I mean? I mean, like, he lived in a community, but even, I believe
he was, like in the early 90s when he first came out. I mean, he got a lot of respect. You know what I'm saying? He was that Marcy boy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
all right.
He did do a lot, though. Like at one point in time, he had like some scholarships and things like that. He was doing stuff like that to that extent.
With Rockefeller,
yeah,
right?
with Rockefeller. I'm not sure if maybe it could have been like maybe guilt money or anything like that. Some people make it look at it like that, but he did have some involvement. But again, now I mean, most millionaires on the verge of being billionaires don't reach out a lot. They're part of a class that they want to. They want to detract the middle class. They don't want to create a middle class.
That's true.
It builds for their wealth.
But you know what though? This is the thing. I'm gonna take it to my industry. Like, just a guess. Who do you think is the top grossing actor?
Top grossing actor right
Yes.
now?
Of all time.
Of all time?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
No, it is Samuel Jackson.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that.
So I say that to say the thing about the money game and the bravado, I used to listen to this and I'm like, wait a minute. I've read the stats because I like money too.
Yeah.
Okay, so last time I read the stats, you have people like Janet Jackson. She's number 5, but she's not a mass producer. See, when we look at the money game, mass producers are mass spenders. You're only really as wealthy as the debt you have.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, too, like, you're not going to tell me Queen Latifah ain't up there.
Yeah.
She sell everything. So I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. You're selling the fact, you and B are selling the fact that you make a lot of money. But you don't make it more than Madonna. You're not making.
Yeah, but that
so
image sells more though.
It
That's
sells,
the thing.
but what I'm saying is, we as the consumer need to actually. You can Google, like, see it
But
for
okay,
what
hold on.
it's worth.
I gotta cut you off for 1 second because besides being a consumer, forget being a consumer.
Yeah.
Just pretend you're just somebody poor in Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? Living in a hut for real. I mean, you know what?
Or in a costume where I live.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But I'm just saying
Okay.
though. All right, so look,
Okay,
anywhere, any slum in the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Think about it. Do these people want to be the best rappers? It's not so much that they want to be the best rappers or they want to be the best producers or the best whatever. They want to get that bread. They want to get out of that situation.
Right,
so
right.
that's why that image sells more.
I mean, but you got to think about it, though. Samuel Jackson, he played a crackhead. Queen Latifah, she played a gangbanger. I mean, they all did what they had to a certain
But no,
point.
what I'm saying, like, what I'm saying, though, well, first of all, Samuel Jackson he's stellar, like he's a trained actor.
No, he's Broadway
but
trained.
what
I
I'm
know
saying
his
is, like,
roots.
he doesn't sell you that. You won't know that. You don't see him.
Yeah.
He's not selling you his family. He doesn't make his money off
So you're
of
saying
selling
he's-
his bravado. You don't know how much he makes, but they have to put it out. He signs a contract
But he has endorsements as well, though.
He only has had one this first time, Capital
what?
One.
Oh, Capital
That's
One.
the first one he's had.
That's the only endorsement
Janet's
he's ever
had none. Yep.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
well, you
crazy.
know,
Top grossing comedian Eddie Murphy of all
Yeah.
time, black, white, Hispanic
I believe
of
that.
all time. But he's not selling you that. He's just loaded. He don't have to sell you that. He sells his quality. He still makes money. He doesn't talk about.
I mean, you
he
know,
do-
Eddie's
a top
sketches.
grossing-
Eddie's sketches, like for real, he sold a lot of bravado. Like this is still hip hop though. Like hip hop is based on bravado, and it's something that
Well,
you
that's
see
what I'm getting at.
in our battle league. But I mean, this is the culture it's
Why,
born
though?
out of. Like you can't like okay, no one condemns. Like people condemn rock and roll music, but they don't condemn the condition in which it's understood. That's like it's like they give rock and roll people a pass. They give country music a pass.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like why do we expect more from musicians and artists in a moral sense when this is what they are? They're musicians, they're artists. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily condone the quality. I think the quality and the temperament and the intelligence behind the music is gone. But I'm also not going to say, okay, well, you know, why don't you compare yourself to this person? Yo, Eddie Murphy, all Eddie Murphy sold us was swag at first. You know what I'm saying? That's all he gave us.
But when we're talking
That's how
about
he got to be Dr. Doolittle, though.
But when we're talking about the pillars of hip hop, and we're just basically talking about that's how it started, but now we're kind of getting away from that. So now, what is hip hop? Now we're saying, well, no, it's not even that. It's just a genre. It wasn't a movement. It wasn't about community.
But that's what the Zionists are saying, though. Like, then that's where it ties back into the whole principle. Like, there are people who are still like hip hop. You know, like one of my favorite MCs is Here. You know what I mean? And you know, Shorty, he's just a guy who focuses on lyricism. You know what I'm saying? You can see it in the battles. You know, Red is the same way. Wordplay. You know, it's something you see in the battles. There's still people that hold true to the art of it, the movement of it. We have like a whole community-based thing that we're doing.
Good.
You know. So it's like. It's about the sound, but I mean, it's entertainment at the same time, man. I the entertainment is controlled by Zionists, but they control a lot. They control politics. They control movies.
But look. So look, here's a good thing too, though. But look, because you just said you have your own community, right? Square Circle. You get your own people to come out. You throw your own shows, right?
Yeah.
You film your own events. You document. You do everything yourself.
Right.
So realistically, you run hip hop. For your not only for yourself but for your community,
that.
Right.
And so the Zionists.
Well, he does that. That's
You
the
have
main
the more
organizer
power.
right
Yeah,
there,
but I'm
right?
just saying though. I'm just saying
Yeah.
in general, it's
I
a
like
family thing. You know what I'm saying? There's no outside hand
Yeah.
trying to reach in or
Right.
even trying to feed in. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So-
we won't allow that.
Yeah,
like
and that's
that.
and that's what I'm
That's what
saying.
we're talking
See, that's
about.
the new motto. In my opinion,
Yeah.
that's the new motto. You know what I mean? Because there's been too many people looking for handouts.
Even still, with it being like that, it's still once you reach a certain level, someone comes around to stick their hand in your cookie.
See, no, what I'm getting at is that's how it's been in the past, right?
Right.
But from
Right.
this point on, everything has to change, right? Destroy and rebuild, right?
Right.
That's what it's
Yeah.
all about. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And now it's changing, and now there's communities being formed everywhere, all over the country, all over the world, man. Because hip hop is worldwide, man.
Right.
I didn't get into the group that I wanted to talk about in Palestine, DAM.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hip hop is like taking over the world, and it's going back to communities, and communities are going to start to take back the they're going to become the preservers of hip hop again. And just like what you guys are doing, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are the definition of hip hop, man, because you started that community, man. You know what I'm saying? You said
it's
within
equal
Square
parts Malcolm
Circle.
X and Martin Luther, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
It's
I
equal
do.
parts.
That's-
I feel you, yeah. But you know, it's like the thing is, man, is I don't know, man. I'm running out of time, man. But all I want to say, man, is that community is the basis, man. You know what I'm saying? Like in the future, like you were saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? If you see it, you'll become that person. You won't need that handout, man. You know what I mean? I'm starting to learn that too, man, because for a long time I was looking for somebody to save me, to save all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now I'm starting to realize, like, yo, if I don't open my own lane, everyone's gonna be stuck,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
And that's the why I understand, like, people like Jay-Z or whoever that makes money, man. I understand because they've had so many crabs around them their whole life, and the more money they make, like Biggie said, the more problems they had. The problems are just people, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just my opinion, man. But it is what it is, man. We're all looking for that bread. We're all looking for that paycheck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's another day. That's why we always work. But I'm just about the community, and I just want to find out who's gonna be running hip hop in the future, man. It may be Square Circle, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys are doing real good. I checked out some of your videos, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
The quality of the videos have come up a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Since the last year when I saw the first joint. But again, man, real quick, people wanted to find you. It's YouTube Square Circle.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Battle League.
Battle League, Square Circle Battle League. And Dr. Barbara, if people wanted to find you, it's Weirdo Play.
WeirdoPlay.com. They can also find me on Twitter at girl GURRL Keoni KEONI. So
That's
either
what's
way.
up, man.
Yeah,
This
either
is
way.
OHLOW. I got to get out of here. I hope that everybody can make it out again. I want to say thank you for coming out. I appreciate everybody coming out. Peace.